As you can see, the title of the video is How Getting My CDL Allowed Me to Change My Life. But I'm going to rephrase that and I'm going to say how I changed my life once I got my CDL. Before I got my CDL, I was at a very dark place in my life. At a job that I hated. Hated myself, just out of touch with reality all in all. Getting my CDL allowed me to travel. It allowed me to get away from society. It allowed me to hear my own voice, to hear the voice that was coming from different places. It allowed me to build my relationship with God. It allowed me to learn myself. So that's why I say I changed my life once I got my CDL, because a lot of people don't change once they get their CDLs. But for me, my story is different. As I stated in my previous video, I went to school in Orlando, Florida, 2019. So it's been 5 years since I had my CDLs, and I really didn't know what I was getting myself into. I just knew that I always prayed to God, and I always said that I wanted to get away from the small town that I'm from, and I just wanted to travel. Now, a lot of people may be unaware that Roadmaster is pretty pricey. It's pretty pricey, but that it didn't matter to me, because again, my whole focus was to get away from the place that I was and to travel. I had prayed to God for that for so long, to where it actually came into a reality. And this was before I even knew about manifestation. Like, before I knew all of that, I just knew that I was at a very dark place. And I had said that I wanted to get my CDL years ago, way before I got my CDL, but I just never did, for just out of fear. I just never did. Fear of what if, this person don't like this? What if, this person gonna think? What is this person gonna say, with it being, a male dominant industry? I just looked over for several years until I actually got to my breaking point, and I actually went and did it. So again, Roadmaster can be very pricey. So in case y'all don't know, look, as you can see that, I hope that you can. You see that? So what I like to say is that what I realize is that things doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. So at the time of me signing the papers saying, yes to that loan, I didn't really know what I was doing, to be honest with you. I just knew that my bank wouldn't give me the loan. So the instructor of the school said that they had a bank that would finance it for me. And I was like, okay, cool. So that's what I did. Had them to finance it for me. And as you can see, it pretty much came out to $10,000. But again, things doesn't happen to you, it happened for you. So throughout that process of me, signing the loan and having them to give me the loan, I knew that I had a pretty price tag on my head. A pretty price tag on my head, but I didn't allow that to stop me. In the beginning, I called several companies. I called Prime. I called maybe 2, 3 other companies, but US Express was the one that gave me the yes, and that was the company that I went with. I stayed with US Express for 2 years and 7 months, to be exact. I wanted to stay with them for 3 years, but I did 2 years and 7 months. And at the beginning, they do reimbursement, tuition reimbursement. So I think US Express was paying $100 towards my reimbursement. Then I was putting an extra 100 with it. What I realized was that every month that I got my statement, is like the balance wasn't going anywhere. So I'm doing my math, like something ain't mathing. It just ain't mathing. So something going on. So I end up calling the company. The company that actually gave me the loan is I don't, cause my name and my address is up here. It is they actually don't have it up here, but it's Paramount Capital. I think they out of Illinois or somewhere. I'm not sure, but it's Paramount Capital. So I end up calling the 1-800 number, getting a rep on the phone, and basically, asking the rep, like, why is my principal balance not going down? Talked to one rep. They basically Didn't answer my question. Talked to the second rep. They did the same thing. It took me 3 times to call a rep and actually get a lady on the phone that basically said, baby, they is charging you interest every day. So I'm like, interest every day? She was like, yeah, they charging you $5 to $6 interest every day. So if you do, basically, I'm not sure the numbers because like I say, it been 5 years ago. If you do 5 times 30, which is how many days is in a month, that's basically how much you paying in interest, which means that once you actually pay the balance for that month, that's why you don't see your balance going down. So I'm like, okay. So when I got through with my shift that day, I sat down in the truck and I actually did some math. And I was like, this is why. So long story short, what I actually did was I drove. The first year of me driving trucks, I did nothing but focus on the road and just embrace the journey that I was on. I was happy to be away from my small town. I was happy to get away from the job that I came from, which was a poultry plant. It's a processing plant, a chicken plant, what we call it here in the country. If you know, you know. So I was happy to get away from that. So I figured out what it was and I just drove. I drove. I embraced the journey that I was on, and I was so thankful to God for allowing me to do something that I had prayed for many years. So what I did was I had saved. I don't like to talk about money, but as you can see, you know, I finances, like, stick with me and it'll all make sense in the end if you stick with me. I saved up pretty good money within a year because we all know once you a rookie or truck driver, you pretty much gonna drive more than you do anything. Home time is gonna be for maybe 3-4 days what they give you, but they normally want you to stay out like 2 to 3 weeks and then come home for a couple of days, and that's what it was. And I did that, and I had no problem doing it again because I'm from a small town with a small population where there's nothing going on at all. So I was like, cool, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing back home, whatever. So I saved my money. Oh man, it's crazy how I save my money. But what I done was once I actually did my numbers and I seen exactly what the company that gave me the loan was doing, I called my bank and I told my bank to wire the money to said company, and that was it. So it was approximately 7,000-8,000 that they sent to them. Now, I didn't want to do it at first, again, because I didn't understand the concept of money. I didn't know that money is supposed to be used for what I used it for. Money is a tool to get you to a happier place in your lifestyle. Money is a tool to be used for, you know, it's not meant to be hoarded. It's not meant to be saved. I mean, you want to save some, but you know, it's not meant for that. Again, I didn't know none of this. I just know that I had saved a lump sum of money, and then that it was going to take me approximately freaking 10 years to pay back this loan. I'm like, no way, 10 years? Like, I'm not fit to stay with U.S. Express for 10 years, and I'm definitely not fit to pay them interest. You know what I'm saying? So, again, I didn't understand none of that. End up, my bank ended up sending them the money. Once my bank sent them the money, within a month or so, I ended up finding this guy on YouTube that was talking about credit. Again, I'm riding, y'all. I'm out west. I loved it to be out west. I'm out west. I'm riding. Because now, you know, I'm out west. And it's like, I'm a country girl. So I'm used to seeing nothing but trees, land, cattle. That's all I'm used to seeing. You get what I'm saying? So now, it's just like, I'm out west. I'm seeing mountains. I'm seeing what you see in the movie. You know what I'm saying? This is like, is it real? You get what I'm saying? So it's like, my mind just start opening up my thoughts, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, so now it's just like, so I'm listening to the guy on a podcast and he talking about credit. It was just like God's divine timing throughout the whole 5 years that I've been had my CDL. It's an amazing story. Listen to the guy podcast, and the guy said, download this app. So boom, I downloaded this app. Then he said download, it's different apps that you can download to, check your credit. So he was like, download the app, pulled my credit card, and my credit was like, it wasn't, of course, an 800, but it wasn't a 400 or a 500 either. It was in the mid high six. I can say that. I think it was like mid six. I think it was like probably like 650 or something like that. But that's good for the average person. You get what I'm saying? Still not understanding nothing. So I'm like, oh, so I keep listening to his videos, and what I realized, and then he was like, you can go print out your credit report and you can actually see what's on your credit report. I didn't have nothing on my credit report besides a car that I had bought years ago that I paid for. That was on my credit report. So that what actually started credit for me. Didn't know nothing about it. So actually, when they gave me that loan, that was another line of credit for me. And that was what really did it for me. I had a credit card, but I didn't have no knowledge of how to work a credit card or nothing like that. So I wasn't really, helping my credit with using that credit card like that. So when this loan came about, this trucking loan came about, and by me paying it off in full, it skyrocketed my credit. So now, that's the first phase I went to when, throughout the 5 years I've been driving truck. So I'm listening to him, I'm doing everything with credit. He talking about credit, the credit guy. I'm not going to say his name, but he the credit guy. He's not the credit guy. I'm just saying he the credit man, whatever. I listened to everything that man was saying. And when I say y'all, I learned everything that I could possibly learn on credit. I learned everything that I could possibly learn on credit. I did exactly what he told me to do. Once I started doing exactly what he told me to do, my credit score started going up. Boom, point. So then what I did was I went and applied for another credit card because now I'm feeling cocky. I'm feeling cocky than ever. So now I done went and applied for another credit card that to me, it was a good thing to go apply for it because I need it. Went and applied for it, So now I'm boom. I'm doing everything he said. Before I knew it, man, my credit score was at a 700. I got good credit, So I don't know what these other drivers be talking about. It's a known thing for black folk to have bad credit. That's a lie. That is a lie, man. Trucking can change your life in a lot of ways. If you use it to your advantage. I don't have a house with a white picket fence. I don't have a scat pack or a Benz to show y'all. I don't believe in material possessions. You get what I'm saying? I believe in working hard, saving your money, and investing your money for something that's going to give you a return on your investment. I don't believe in liabilities. I just don't. That's another story for a different day, but I don't believe in that. So I don't have none of those things to show you. So that's the first phase that I went to throughout my trucking career. Then the second phase I went to was when I first started driving trucks. It was like this dispatcher. I had this dispatcher. She was running me crazy. Like, the ladies were giving me loads that was like 300, 400 miles. No, I'm sorry, 30, 40 miles. And I was having, like 6 of those in a day. And I'm like, this ain't no money. And then they was only giving out with like 40 some cent, I think. Like 2019, they was only giving out like 40 some cent. So I wasn't making no money. So she ran me in the dirt to where it was just like, I can't take no more. I'm not taking no more. I end up saying something to another dispatcher about her, and then that's when U.S. Express had the company Variant that was coming on. So at that particular time, me and her, we just kept going back and forth. I had lost a lot of weight. You get what I'm saying? Just running up under her load board with her running me to death. I ended up losing a lot of weight. I wasn't eating like that because remind you, I didn't know how to work the clock. So I'm used to this clocking in, mentality. That's what I'm used to. So I'm thinking like, oh, I got to do this by this time. I got to have this done by this time. I didn't understand the clock or nothing like that. They really don't teach you nothing about the clock in school. So that's something that you really gonna have to learn on your own and then learn with a trainer. But you really not gonna learn it on your own until you actually get like hands-on experience for, within yourself. So she was running me crazy. I ended up losing weight. I lost weight. And then what I did was when I got on with Variant, I ended up gaining the weight back because I had got comfortable. When I got on with Variant, everything was peaches and cream. Everything was sweet when I got on with Variant. I got comfortable. The people was nice. They were respectable. Like, everything was good. I gained weight. So the second phase, because I done went through many stages within these 5 years of me having my CDL. I done went through multiple stages. When I say I actually worked on myself, I didn't get in trucking for the money. My thought process was never to get in trucking for the money. My thought process was to get in trucking and travel. Get away from my hometown, get away from everything that I was associated with, and get my mind together. That's all I wanted to do. So I got with Variant, I got comfortable, gained the weight. So the second phase I went through in my life was, I was like, oh man, I can't be one of those truck drivers that gain weight. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's like not good. So I started reading books about food. I started listening to podcasts on people that's, educating people on food. So learned about food, learned how to read ingredients, learned nutrition and everything. Start doing exactly what those people were saying. And guess what? Got finer than wine. Lost weight just like that. So when I came back home, because I didn't mind staying out, a month. I think the longest I did was a month and a week. But normally I used to come home like every 3 weeks, after 3 weeks or something like that. I can't remember. But when I came home, everybody was like, everybody was like, wow, what you doing? You fine. You this and you that. And I'm like, yeah, thank you. So now I done got the big head, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm like, shoot, I ain't got to lose no more weight. You know what I'm saying? Gain the weight back just like that. But I end up losing it, and I maintain it now. So the third phase that I went through in my life was, again, listening to podcasts, listening to people. Because the first phase was I went through credit. The second phase was I learned about food because I had gained weight and I didn't want to be one of those truckers that, just get out of character, I didn't want to do that. So I went through learning about food. The third phase was I was then learning, get interested in money. I'm hearing these people talking about money, talking about finances, talking about, this different language that I never heard before. So, man, like that right there, that right there just did something to me. I'm like, it was everything. So what I did was the first book, and I always loved to read. So one thing that I repeatedly heard was I heard people say the first thing that you need to do when you want to change your mindset when it comes to money is you want to read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. I kept hearing that. I heard it so many times. It was just like, I got to get this book. Got the book, read the book, and Jesus Christ, that book was like, when I got finished reading the book, I was mind blown. Because it's like, I've been lied to. Like, we have been told and we have been taught to do everything this way, but yet it's a lie. And it made sense. That's what really got me, is that it made sense. You know how you hear some things and it don't resonate with you. But this book resonated with me so much. I'm like, so I started digging deeper. I met my mentor. When I met my mentor, everything changed. I'm talking about, I was listening to this man driving this truck like I ain't even want to take no reset. I ain't care about no 10-hour reset. I didn't care about no nothing. Only thing I wanted to do was send me out west to California. I wanted to drive in the mountains and listen to my mentor. You get what I'm saying? Because I was getting so much information that it was just mind blowing, which has made me the person that I am today. Again, different story for a different day. And that's basically it. That's it. It's crazy how you getting into something, you don't know how it can transform your life. Some people take they CDL for granted. Some people take it as, it's just another job. Remind you, I went from a job making $42,000 a year to basically my first year at US Express making like what, 59, almost 60,000, and that's on the low end. You get what I'm saying? Like I say, I stayed there 2 years. So after that, it continues to go up, but that's a huge jump from 42,000 to almost 60,000. Just imagine what you can do with that money once you learn about money. You get what I'm saying? Because you don't have time to shop. You get what I'm saying? You don't have time to splurge or nothing like that. You have time, but that just wasn't my MO. You get what I'm saying? So the journey that God put me on, it was all divine timing. That's what I say. So it's just amazing how you can go from one place to the next place with just somebody just talking to you, and it's nothing material. It's nothing material, but with somebody just talking to you, just pouring into you, and basically telling you everything that you have been told is a lie. Everything that you have been taught is a lie. This whole everything that's set up it's a game, and you have to learn how to play the game. If you don't learn how to play the game, then you're going to continue to repeat the same cycles. And everything that I was hearing from the book that I read, from the books that I read, from my mentor, everything just made sense. And I had made up my life then, because I had already knew, coming from where I came from, it was just like, once you repeat the same cycle, then you're going to continue to get the same results. I wanted to escape the lifestyle that I was living, but I just didn't know how, because I wasn't surrounding myself with the right people. I didn't have nobody to encourage me. I didn't know myself. I didn't know the value within myself. I never heard of nobody talking about value within yourself. What is you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So once you start learning, once you surround yourself with the right people, once you get a little money, again, you know what I'm saying? Money ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't all about money, and it's not all about material things. But once you surround yourself with the right people to instill the right things in you, and just change your whole mindset, then your life would definitely change for the better. So the journey that God sought me on, I know that it's not, it's something behind it. I haven't figured it out yet. I'm still searching, of course, and I will forever search until I get the answer, because I know it's a meaning behind it all. But it's amazing, and every day I'm very grateful, and I show much gratitude on how far I have become. And I know this is only the beginning. This is only the beginning, and it's going to continue to get better and better and better and better, because that's something that I want. You get what I'm saying? And not only something that I want, it's something that God wants for me also, that the universe, the creator, want for me also. So I know that long as I continue to be obedient, and long as I continue to have faith in God, then I know everything is going to work out accordingly. So again, that's my story, man. That's my story of how it is. And as you can see, man, yeah, that's what they charge. This what this school charge. They charge $10,605.40 price sale, and they put it was an 18% interest annual. That's ridiculous. So, and it was $175 a month. So again, US Express was paying $100. Then I was putting in, like, I think $90 to $100, which was $200 a month. By the time I paid that $200, I wasn't seeing the principal balance go down. So that was a warning to me. And they saying 60 payments. It's 12 months in a year. You know what I'm saying? So I sat down and I did the calculation, and I was like, yeah, something ain't right. Got that out the way real quick, so you can save up some money. Don't let nobody tell you can't save with no money, because you're going to be working your behind off, especially your first year. You ain't going to make a lot of money, but depending on your situation, everybody's situation is different. Let me say that. Everybody's situation is different when they coming into this trucking thing. So if you know your situation, then you can capitalize on your situation and get ahead quicker than, whatever, somebody else. If you know your situation. A lot of people don't know their situation. I knew my situation, which was why I was able to capitalize, at a fast pace, You know what I'm saying? Again, I could have went out and bought a house. I could have went out and bought a luxury car, you know, but that wasn't my intentions. That's not my goal. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the trucking thing, I don't look to drive trucks for 30, 40 years. No disrespect for nobody that has been driving that long, but I don't look to drive trucks for that long. I look as truck, even now, I look as trucking as a stepping stone to get me to the next phase in life, because I don't feel like nothing is supposed to be done. One thing is supposed to be done for the rest of your life. I just don't believe that. I feel like life is supposed to be adventurous. Life is supposed to be enjoyable. You know, you supposed to, you know, do the things that brings you joy and peace. And trucking brings me that. Don't get me wrong. Trucking brings me that. But when is it enough? You get what I'm saying? Like, when is it enough, and when are, you know what I'm saying, you going to go to the next phase? Because people get into trucking and, you know, that's it. That's all they know. They truck for the rest of their life, and that's all they know. And I just don't see me doing that. I feel like God put me on this journey to expand my horizon, to expand, you know what I'm saying, to grow and develop. Let me say that, to grow and to develop into the person that I have become, to get me to the next phase on what he want me to do. Not what I want to do, but what he want me to do. And it's gonna get better. So that's my story for now. I hope that y'all enjoyed the video. And again, I hope y'all can see that. And this is the fee that I had to pay. And guess what? Your girl saved the money. She paid it off in full. And guess what? Credit score said, spew. Don't never let nobody tell you what you can't do. And guess what? You ain't got to, what them people thinking or saying out there, don't even worry about it. As long as you know. Yeah. And I don't say that to boost and brag, but know your situation. You get what I'm saying? And everything is a stepping stone to get to a different phase in life. Thank you for listening.